I'm joined by House Appropriations Chair Representative Jordan Harris. What stood out to you the most in the governor's budget address today?
Well, I think the governor's budget address really moves forward and continues the work that we've been doing, doubling down on our investments in public education, doubling down on our investments in housing, doubling down on our investments in DHS, and the things that matter to everyday Pennsylvanians. The governor's budget address really continues the work that we've been doing with our humble majority.
The governor last week announced his lightning plan, his energy package. One of the things he talked about were incentives for things like hydrogen, renewables. Does natural gas fit into this plan?
Well, yeah, I think what you see with the governor's energy plan, but also what we're trying to do with accelerated reduction of the CNI is that Pennsylvania is trying to be a place where we want to entice businesses to come, and clearly businesses in the energy sphere are a part of that. So I think when you couple what the governor is talking about in his energy plan, as well as business tax reduction, we're trying to make Pennsylvania a place where people want to live, work, and raise their family.
This is, I believe, the 7th year in a row that a Democratic governor has attempted to increase the minimum wage. I guess a two-part question. What has changed in the environment that makes you hopeful for this year? And if so, how do you come to the appropriate number?
Well, look, the bottom line is what we've seen is that all of our neighbors around us have increased their minimum wage, and it makes absolutely no sense why Pennsylvania still has not done so. We know that if we're going to have work here in Pennsylvania, we have to have workers, and we have to pay those workers well. We have to pay them a living wage. So we are going to continue to beat the drum on the fact that we need to raise the minimum wage here in the state of Pennsylvania, because all of our neighbors have done so. We need to get on board.
The governor has again called for legalizing adult use marijuana. This has been offered by members of both parties in both chambers. What have been the big sticking points?
Well, I mean, I think some people have their own personal hangups, but the bottom line is this. If you talk to many of the states around us who have already legalized adult use cannabis, they will tell you that a large portion of their revenue comes from Pennsylvanians. And we can't have that. People going to New Jersey, people going to New York. I mean, look, we need to be able to keep that revenue here. I think the number is over $1 billion we would have had in revenue had we legalized adult use cannabis. It's far time that we legalize it here in Pennsylvania, tax it here, and get the benefits for all of our constituents.
The governor talked about mass transit funding in particular. Is this a tough sell for members that represent rural areas?
No, mass transit connects us to all of Pennsylvania. I mean, this is not just one part of the state. This is about everybody. So this is Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and everything in between. But also, not only did he talk about mass transit, but he talked about the need for us to invest so that we can take care of our roads and bridges. Pennsylvania has led the country in repairing our infrastructure with regards to where everybody else is doing in America. We need to continue to do those things here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Roads and bridges, mass transit go hand in hand.
The House is facing a one-seat vacancy with the passing of Representative Matt Gergely. Is there any anticipation that the House Democratic leadership will continue to put tough votes on the floor prior to that special election taking place in March?
Look, what we've done, even with our one-vote majority, is that we've passed legislation with Republican support. We will continue to make sure that we're moving forward in a space where we can get votes from both sides of the aisle to make sure that we move forward with an agenda good for all of Pennsylvania.
Representative Jordan Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.